Welcome to the end of the world. Don't panic. There's many guides out here to help you along the way. I'm one of them, Jasmine, your millennial fairy, to help deliver you a message in these crazy times. I truly hope you're surviving the apocalypse out there, in here, or wherever in hell we are. The time is now. What does that mean? Don't panic. Don't be in fear. Don't give away your power. Find peace in solitude. Find grace. Find gentleness. Find quiet. Find stillness. Give yourself the respect you deserve, and don't give all your time away to the powers that want to take it from you. What we're trying to do in these times is we're fighting this spiritual battle where these darker entities think that they can keep pushing and pressuring us to be something, to be indebted to them, to be of service to them, subservient to them. And that's just not going to happen because we're resilient. People are strong and capable of enduring crazy things. And we come out on the other side much stronger and much more powerful than we previously could imagine. So let's talk about really important things that matter and not trivial things that aren't going to aid your highest good, your overall potential. Let's focus. Let's be present. Oh, the sun. What a beautiful beginning. What a beautiful start. So this isn't I'm not here to sell you rainbows and lollipops, okay? The sun coming out could be many things, but what it is for me is the illumination. This is the enlightenment and the exposure. Everything is happening. This happiness is also frightening because so much is being exposed. So much is now available to the naked eye. And it's blinding. It's so bright. It's so obvious. It's so clear. It's translucent at this point. You can see through it. The veil of deception is gone. And it's challenging when it's so in your face, when it's so obvious, when it's clear. But the key here is to find your happiness. Find peace in the chaos. Be calm in the storm. This showing up right in the front and center there, it's like it's hidden, but it's obvious. And it's now a time to find stillness and slow down so you can see. Let's see this obstacle. The obstacle, the challenge in front of us is the work. Not only the work that is ahead of us, but the work that we have placed and founded reality on. We've put all this effort into this belief, into this collective hallucination. We've strongly enforced this narrative, and we are being challenged to look at what we have built, look at what work ethic is. What have we put our energy into? What have we sold ourselves to? How much time and energy is being spent working on something that may not actually be in the future or be beneficial to the future or be beneficial to the present or to the time that we have, the happiness and the joy that we seek? We're trying to be regular people that have family and culture and joy, but instead we're so overburdened with all this work. But we have to be able to see the positive, and I feel like the positive here, this was in reverse. I feel like the positive here is, I'm like, no work that we've done is, would you say, like, the efforts that we've put in aren't to be diminished. It's not to say like we haven't, we're not going to take this into the future. There's lessons to be learned here about what we've built and what we can build instead. I see us using this technology and all these things, but we're using them. Yeah, Seven of Voice in reverse. This card's been coming up a lot lately because it's really telling me about this inversion of reality that we've been in. The 7 on 7. This 7 on 7. So I'm seeing this as the infrastructures and those that dictate our work, our time, our energy are now being exposed. The intention behind this work, behind this 3D dimensional matrix lie, all the efforts that have been put into place. I'm seeing the moon. I'm seeing how the moon is like reflecting what frequency we're asking for. So we send it a frequency and it reflects a narrative based on a collective belief. And for some reason, with the age of information, with all this knowledge and power in our hands and exposure, with all this illumination, we're being given this opportunity to look at who's behind this. Our participation in it, our efforts. And why would our future position be happiness in reverse? You know, why would that be? Well, because the fruits of our labor, it's like we've worked hard for something that we now see isn't going to stand, isn't going to fulfill us. And to accept the truth, it's going to require us to know that this is not our happiness. This does not make us this does not motivate us to wake up in the morning and go to work. This kind of functioning of reality, it's okay to invite in that change and say that this is enough. I want to find ways that I can move in the direction of my happiness rather than continue to live in this dissatisfaction with life. I see us really looking at that like, this is not the way. I will kick, fight, and scream my way out of this. I see tantrums of people grieving like in their own ways. Everyone's going to grieve different. Everyone's going to mourn the loss of reality differently. It's not that we're losing reality, but we're certainly losing, if you want that there. We're going to mourn the loss of belief because it's the same concept of the Tooth Fairy and Santa Claus. It's sad when you figure it out, you know, when you realize like, I believed in this is real, like this lie, I really believed, and I even participated. Yeah, everything's really coming in this reverse position because everything's being flipped back. We're working ourselves to flip everything around. Every single card surrounding the sun here is in reverse. And the sun, literally, even the one on the obstacle on top, is because everything's being inverted back to reality. We are clearly, visibly seeing the imbalance. We're seeing it inside and out. We're seeing men against women, parent against child, elder against youth. You know, we're just seeing everything is an attack at this time because we're trying to sort through all of this verbal battery, verbal harsh truth. it's like that. It's like a whiplash of energy. I'm seeing this like, well, what are you gonna do about it? Told you so. Like I'm seeing this, the leaders and the powers, the ones that are puppeting us, they're just kind of like, well, so free world, free will, we can do what we want. You guys were just pawns. What you gonna do about it? I see them scurrying and running away. We're downloading all of this. Okay, that one's in an upright. Yeah, because we're discovering what we really want. We're discovering this position right here. This is a powerful position because this is telling me that no matter what happens, we're going to be able to see, feel clear, true emotions and be guided to where to go, how to move, what we want to do. We're going to actually take acts of inspiration based on our hearts, because we're refining our ability to be emotionally stable and balanced in a time of chaos. It's really going to pressure us. I'm seeing iron sharps iron. The whole concept of the process of making something out of nothing. We're going to surprise ourselves with our capability of what we can do, how much we're capable of doing. What we're capable of becoming in our emotional bodies. I'm seeing a lot of love, actually, because we're going to want to come together. We're going to want to revert back to our nature and reject this nurture that has divided us in a way that we can't see clearly anymore. In our environment, there's a lot of franticness. I see rushing, fear, preparation, just a lot of action, but maybe not controlled or thought out or methodical. It's maybe checkers, not chess in our environment, because we're not prepared. Those of us that have been preparing seem a little bit more ahead of the game because we've been planning for this. We know the exposure's real. Like it's a real process of wow, like this is really happening. And then you go through the stages of grief. You go through the 12 steps and you're just like, well, at this point, whatever happens, happens. And I'm not in control. I'm just gonna have to roll with the punches of how things manifest. But those that haven't been preparing are struggling and going to have to try things that maybe sometimes will fail. Like when years back when I was harboring water and food and like trying to learn how to prep for, crazy times. And I was like, I didn't know the proper way to store water and I had this huge water problem. It's like, we're really learning that we don't know much. We certainly don't know how to survive as a people, as a collective. And it's very important not to panic. Like panicking is the worst thing we can do. If you haven't watched the movies of possible outcomes of how this will manifest, watch them. Don't become those people. Don't panic. Let's be chill. Let's calm down. Okay? I'm also seeing this as I'm hearing 1776, which I don't know if that's the right year because me and history is laughable. But I'm seeing this firework as the declaration of America, of independence, of our foundation. Anything built on a faulty foundation is doomed to to fall. And because our foundation was built on justice, on truth, on, well, you know, it was intended, that was the intention. Hopefully, I wasn't there. I can't prove that. But it's like, since we're not acting in accordance to it, it's just the cards are falling. And I actually have for years seen a vision about the 4th of July. And if this might be a prediction, maybe it's a imagination, I'm not sure. And I just saw the fire department go by, which is interesting. But, and I've said it in another reading, I think, but I see the 4th of July as an opportunity for ATTACK. And I don't know if that means anything or fireworks mean something, but I think that it's very, very important to stay calm. If we think everyone is the enemy around us and we can't come together and work as teams in community situations, they win. And I keep seeing repeated numbers. I saw 14, 14, 16, 16. We fear our power. We fear our own power and creativity. This comes up in our, what we fear, hopes and fears. Obviously, we hope to be powerful. We hope to be capable. We hope for that. But at the same time, I see us fearing it. We're fearing what we're capable of. Fearing have to do the things we maybe didn't think we would have to do in a time such as now. That's a lot of fire in the environment right there. See here, this fire. It's a lot of fire. Blazing fire. We fear what so I'm seeing like a sword. You know how they have to put it in the fire and then they bang on it and then they eventually make a sword, but it has to go through the fire. I'm seeing us going through the fire right now. This is a burning, a shedding, a rebirth process that we're trying to accept into the future. Elohim. And the Fool as the outcome. The Fool is to say that with just a backpack, with just a little bit of items, not much things, materialism, is going to be able to come with us. And I saw 1818. We aren't going to take a lot into the future, and that's okay. That's okay, because we need to pack light. It's about our spirits and our souls at this point. It's not about the things that we've acquired. The things we've acquired, you know, you gotta fail a few times, quite a few times before you succeed. And what we're witnessing is a failed society, you know? We're witnessing a leap into an entirely new way of living. We got the Fall card here, which is like, this is, so I don't look at time as linear. I recognize there are seasons and there are changes in the sky and there are things going on. That's how you know what time it is. That's the measurement for me, not the calendar system that's like created by Julius Caesar or whatever. Those false ways of being where we function that way. This Fall card is showing me what time it is. And fall leads to winter. And I'm literally in the fall. So time doesn't exist, whatever. But what's time it is, it's fall, meaning the leaves are falling. The bears are going into the caves. We're preparing. The harvest has been had. We have had the feast. Actually, we're about to have the feast because that's when Thanksgiving comes. And don't be literal. You got to be metaphor here. This is a metaphor. The feast is coming, meaning the final feast or something like that. I don't know if it's the final, but it's like the feast of the year and then the rest. Then we rest. Then we gestate, or then we incubate. Because come spring, come summer with the sun card, don't be literal. I mean, do whatever you want. But it's showing me like fall to the sun. There's this like full circle experience happening where we're going to need to learn to adapt to the times, the reality of the changes that are happening around us, rather than our schedules and the force that we need to control what time it is. Like it's 2 p.m. and I'll see you at 7 p.m. next Friday. And then 3 months from now, I'll be here. And 27 days from now, I'll be doing this thing. Like all of that's getting thrown in the trash. That linear thought process makes no sense besides what supports the veil that is of the deception. The moon. Remember I said the moon was sending frequencies of a lie so we would believe it? That's what is showing me. It's like we're changing the frequency so that deception is going to fall away. And we're going to choose love. Love. Think about the force of love. A lot of people, you know, whatever. It's weird to say, oh, love is the answer. Love is the answer, because it is. Love is how we defeat hate. We don't want to encourage violence and any more of that. There's enough of that going on right now. Exactly. That's why love in this came out, because this is what really matters, which is small child, naive, moldable, impressionable. Think about the kids at this time. They are under attack. We need to be focused on what's really going on. We need to be more honest with reality, with perception of what's happening, of who's protecting the kids. What is going on? Life isn't about being perfect. It's about being so ridiculously passionate that people think you're a little crazy. Exactly. Social media. Exactly. Being strong enough to stand up in this time and talk about what's really going on is key. Because these kids are so exposed to everything. How are you supposed to, as a small child, know and hear and experience all of this atrocity across the planet at this time, along with the advertisements, for example, of my son one time was like, Mom, why would they show me this ad? And it was like a lady's undergarment ad, like bras and underwear. And it's like small things like that, to access to PORN, to like war going on across the globe, children, millions of people suffering. How are we supposed to be honest about this with kids if we're not being honest with ourselves? And they got to grow up in this, you know? And then we have high expectations on them. Continue to go to school, continue to sit at this desk, continue to follow the narrative that has been so outdated for so long at this point. But keep pretending, keep going on, keep feeding the lie, keep fueling the beast system, the matrix, the construct of duality that doesn't call for balance or envision a future where we can find neutrality and peace and centeredness. It's not all about you. Group thinking is needed for a well-rounded picture and understanding. They're encouraging narcissism for a reason. I don't fully agree that narcissists are bad people. I'm not with that narrative where that buzzword is designed somehow to make us feel better about our choices, decisions, actions, whatever. A lot of the times there's a little bit in us, a little bit in others. Obviously there's a diagnosis for disorder, NPD disorder. It's a little bit different where you intend to go out and harm people. But in general, with Hollywood, with entertainment, with whatever, Hollywood, let's just be real. Hollywood, the projection. It's like they've been encouraging this. This has been a design. Narcissism is, it's very hard to get a narcissist to do what you don't want them to do, right? Or what they don't want to do. So how hard is it to get people to do the right thing in a time where we're very selfish, where we're very focused on ourselves and not the community, not our neighborhood, not the kids around us that clearly need help, or the teenagers, or the young adults, or the people trying to survive this world right now, the homeless people, the mentally ill, the suffering that's going on, the reality that at any minute that could be you, at any minute that could be me, that could be my child, that could be your child, right? And until it comes to your doorstep, it's like, oh, I don't see that. I don't see none of that that's happening out there. I don't see millions of homeless people camping out and giving up on society. That's not real. We're just in such denial. It's uncomfortable at this point. I'm gonna do a couple chimes to clear the energy really quick. They want us docile. They want to look, this abandonment card. It's like they want us to feel abandoned, so we abandon ourselves. The whole concept to abandon is literally to leave behind. Think about it. I can't get these cards. What's going on? Okay. So let's dig a little deeper. Let's see what's coming. Let's focus on positivity, optimism, and hope, and what we can do. Because all we can do is focus on what we can only control a little bit. We can only control our reactions and our choices. It is hot in here. I gotta figure this out. Okay. Peace. Like, I'm just seeing the word peace. The vibration of peace is going to help us right now. That is the goal. Find peace. That was in reverse too. Netcaster. Preparations come to fruition. Exactly. Whatever you cast, whether it's words, a spell, because everything you say is casting a spell. And now I'm saying like casting, because again, like I said, the cast, is always going to be like the walls of the house, what holds up the structure of what we're building. And thus far, the cast has been how do I say that? It's like what the nets brought in. So we casted out the net. What the nets brought into us, we see it as not plentiful. It's not harvest-like. It's not like, oh my gosh, like we got a whole bunch of fish, we're gonna be able to feed all of our people. It's more like, oh my gosh, this is the past. Oh my gosh, we got all these fish. How can we profit off of it? How can we be greedy and selfish about it? How can we make this about me? How can we be more individual-like? We're learning to cast our nets and be more community-oriented, like, oh my gosh, we got a bunch of fish today. Let's actually use this fish today for today. Not like hoard and covet and like hold on to it scarcely and not share. This isn't a time to be selfish unless you understand balance, because there are moments that you need to be very selfish. And I will always encourage that, especially if you're in situations where you can't breathe, you can't function, you have to take medication, if you weren't taking a pill every day, you postal on people, you know? There's a tremendous amount of balance required here to understand when to be selfish and when to be selfless. What do you have that you don't need, that you're holding on to, that's keeping you in the paradigm or the paradox or whatever of the past, versus what are you bringing in that will be something you can give back. There's this community give back vibe that I'm picking up on. Fortune's wheel, luck and right timing. Exactly. Because luck and abundance and things turning in your favor are going to be founded on your service to others and giving time and energy to things that reciprocate. Peace, love, balance, fairness, like it's really, really important. Yeah, because we're straddling worlds, and that was also upside down. There's something about this inversion. We're flipping the script. Wandering between realms. We're in between worlds at this time. We're bringing in this new reality that's going to expose all of the dark secrets. There's all those threes now. And 3 is about many things, but it's like me, you, and them, or God, spirit, and self, or there's so many opportunities to build right now with all this mechanics of reality where we're technically working together. It's just we're building things out of stupidity because we're told that we should do it this way, because we're doing things founded on greed and lust and pride and gluttony. We don't hold things sacred anymore. We don't have that authentic it's just too much. I'm seeing like a broken mechanics. I'm seeing like a system, all the gears are turning and everything. It hasn't been oiled. It's not really being maintained properly. It's being overworked. We're pushing for more, and it's just gonna have to break. It's the only way. It's the only way to get it to work correctly. Uranus, exactly. because fast changes are coming in. Uranus, where's that at? I have it up here somewhere. Uranus. Freedom, so it's Aquarius energy. It has a 7-year transit, so that means, you know, it takes 7 years to move signs, move energies. Freedom, unconventional change, unusual vision, future technology, or original, inventive. Like, the energy of Uranus is trying to say that swift changes are actually of your benefit at this time. The quicker you can adapt and move to the changes that are coming, and it's also air energy. So it's not like water, it's not like flow, like rolling down the river, but it's more like, it's a lot more lighter because air is lighter than water. It's a less dense energy. It's being able to be airy and float and be more, that's like fasting, for example. You know, water to me that's more like a water fast, right? Versus a dry fast. Being able to say, no, I'm not gonna drink this today and eat this and overindulge in this. I'm gonna take a break. I'm gonna let my body rest. I'm gonna slow down and breathe oxygen, you know? And then we get Gemini, which is all about communication and what is it? Mercury, yeah. So it's like the messenger, math, debate, wit, quick, clever. So it's a time to be very intelligent. That's also an air element sign. So air energy in itself is intelligent strategy, thinking ahead, future, light, you know? Like, it's very important to be in those energies at this time. Very, very important. Let's talk about this obstacle with these sevens here. Tell me more about these obstacles, these challenges that we're facing. Let's talk about these challenges, these obstacles that we're facing. Will you please clarify these sevens? Ooh, ooh. We got bankruptcy. Ay. Cause I got a big ego, such a huge ego. Yeah, getting off our high horse, friends. Impersonator, exactly, because we just faking it. This is fake. Let's be real. Let's be honest, okay? Let's talk about our struggles and the reality we're facing. Many of us can't afford to live anymore. Many of us cannot buy the things we need to survive. We've worked so hard to have all this progress, to get to where we are, to be so technologically advanced, to have all this capability, and here we are not able to pay our bills. But what are we doing? We're parading around looking like we got it all because we are so obsessed with the projection. We're so obsessed with how we look rather than the reality of the situation, of the poverty that we feel inside, that we're trying to, on the outside, project that everything's okay. That's for survival. If you're in the wild and you're sick, actually with dogs as an example, a sick dog isn't gonna show weakness because the pack or whatever might reject that dog. And to be quite honest, our weakness is actually our strength, because our weakness allows us to find teams and communities that will come together and work together and commune and understand how to, oh yeah, that felt good. I'm hot. Yeah, we're really understanding that's, you know, that sword in this chalice in her hand isn't worth very much when you're starving, when the cat, you know, when the food ain't coming in. And we're shedding this ego. We're shedding this we're shedding. What's blocking us from connecting with people, from finding a relationship, a partner. We're so in love with ourselves and our inner security, the insecurity. We're obsessed with our insecurity that we don't realize how much that's creating a wedge between us and others. And we got this impersonator card. Look, wants to be you, acts like, dresses like, looks like, copies you, because this is what we're doing. I'm seeing like the bird, I'm seeing like just the copycat energy, like actually the neurodivergent, which I totally relate to. When you're on the spectrum of ADHD to autism, you have this weirdness to you and you go in society and you try to fit in. I think it's called masking. It's like, that's the impersonation of trying to look like we're okay, like everything's fine. I'm not suffering over here. I'm not falling apart. Everything's fine. How's your day? I'm good. How is it today? Are you good? I'm good. Everything's fine. No problem. I'm not struggling. I'm not starving. I'm not facing bankruptcy. I can pay all my bills. I'm not in debt. It's all good. It's all good. Like, that's the lie. That's the ridiculous lie we're telling ourselves in these times. When the reality is the world is suffering and falling apart and needing community and support and hands. We need to hold each other's hands through this. This is, we need more support. We need to be more supportive and allow support in, and maybe drop the ego masks of being better than anyone else or whatever, or knowing it all. There's just so much need to preserve and hold on to things when it's not really helping anything. So I also want to clarify this Queen of Swords in reverse in our subconscious. Queen of Swords in our subconscious in reverse. Yeah, I already see it. It's like they had to get us, they had to pin us against each other in ways where we hurt each other, especially with our words, because we think we know it all. Another air sign, an air energy, even like Aquarius energy, is like, if you know it all or whatever, it's like, what do you need other people for? What do you need? You got everything. F you, I'm better, you suck. You know, like there's that vibe that we've been somehow through the frequencies. Like I'm seeing now the TVs. So I don't know the full range of this, but there's something about the crystal magic behind televisions and screens and devices and technology that is sorcery, and it is clouding our ability to act in our instinct and our intuition because we're being programmed, and the spell that's being casted over us in that time and space, that program that's being downloaded into us from whatever we're watching, is making us create whatever narrative we want based off of what we watch and consume. So that way, when someone else comes in and says, no, I'm experiencing this, we automatically are like, no, you're stupid. I experienced this, so I'm better, and my reality is more real than yours. It's this dumb game of tit for tat that we're experiencing with one another. See? Scarce, and you saw it come in reverse. Scarcity tactics. Chess, not checkers. But we playing checkers because we're not playing smart. But they're playing chess, so we better start playing, get in the game. That's a scarcity tactic, is to pin us against each other so we can fight. What else do I want to clarify? Let's do the Nine of Cups in reverse in the near future. Bad habits, okay. Drugs, addictions, and toxicities. So in the near future, it's showing me now that we have a lot of detox to go through. We have a lot of understanding to develop about what it is that we actually want, and to face the reality of how we're coping with living like this. The bad habits that we have that are allowing us to move through these energies rather than doing it sober or doing it clear with that sun card, that clarity, that sober mind, that ability to just see and be alert and be present. Rather, we're being duped because there's this veil in front of us that's not allowing us to see our way to the 10 of Cups. The abundance and joy of togetherness, of family, of unit, of relationship, of legacy, emotional contentment and joy, like so much of what this world has to offer. What I want to clarify. Let's clarify the Muse of Emotions. So we have stalker, stalking, watching, and obsessed. Yeah. Interesting. You taste good, bad Gegu? Chocolate. Chocolate. You alright? My dog was licking. So, interesting. So I'm seeing this a few ways. I'm seeing how us focusing on things that we love and being so in tune with what we want versus what we may need to sacrifice has opened a door and a window for the enemy to come in. And we're now dealing with an attack on the individual because we have been so selfish in our pursuits. And I know that's hard to digest when you are spending all of your time and energy trying to survive, and you're out there working and busting your ass for your family, and you're like, selfish? I'm not selfish. I understand that. I truly do. I truly do. But what I mean by that is when there is a group unit that works in harmony and balance, like a family unit or a council or a tribe of some kind, there's more of a I have to sacrifice mentality. I have to compromise mentality. I have to, maybe I want and love this, but I have to give up this. There's not enough of that going on. There's more of, I'm just gonna do everything I wanna do and just be so immersed in that I overindulge. That's where that gluttony comes in. I overindulge in stuff to the point where I am supplementing my happiness with things rather than people and tribe and community. And that's where that's our weakness at this time. That's a letting this energy in where we can easily be attacked. We need to be more compromising at this time. Forcer. Forces things on you. Forces their way in. Uses force to get what they want. And that is in our environment with that Knight of Wands in reverse. Yeah, that's that divide and conquer. There's something about divide and conquer that we need to be very, very, very aware of. Like, I'm seeing again, like, where's the children? Who's watching the kids? Who's watching the kids? Because wolves in sheep's clothing. Is that what it says? Yes. Pay attention. we're all about ourselves at this time. What about the kids? And if you're not a parent, I understand. I do. You may not understand what I'm saying. But there's a lot of people out here without children, or maybe you consider yourself a child, meaning you're a child of someone. You're a lost soul like us, like everyone else. An orphaned child out here trying to make it. Let's get some of these. Closing messages. Social media. Let's get a card on that, please. So through all of the fear and triggers and pressure from the attack through the phones and everything that's coming at us, keeping composure is key. Keeping yourself, here's the card. Keeping yourself aligned to your center, to finding peace within. It's very, very important to not need so much external validation, to need so much outside. And what I mean by that is if we're overindulging in our reality perception based off the accumulation of data that we want to believe, so we can be our super narcissist self or whatever, like I've accumulated this data and this is how I perceive reality versus your perception, so I'm right and you're wrong. When we can turn that down a bit and allow the calmness, the stillness, the peace, staying calm in these times, that's really going to help. That's the key. It's being able to thrive with nothing, with any of this fake stuff, or just surviving without any of this fake stuff. This is all an illusion. We're just making, this is all fake. Yeah, orphan. I felt like this card was going to come out. I know you feel left and lost, which is, I got this forgotten, lost, and left behind card over here. And I know that's a huge feeling in the collective energy at this time. Feeling alone, feeling isolated, feeling left behind, feeling forgotten. Everyone has become so selfish, and I'm not blaming. This is not a blame. I'm not pointing fingers. I'm describing an energy that's happening, that's going through the collective energy. Feeling alone and feeling separated from the pack is allowing us time to sit with ourselves and transform and become and birth a new self that can come back stronger, that can come back. I remember when I was little, I didn't grow up with like a close family that did normal stuff and like eat at the table or whatever, the normal on TV family. Because that was the trick on me, was I thought the families on TV were like the ideal situation, and mine sucked. So it's like the process in which being forgotten and abandoned and left behind really allows you to sit with yourself and think and meditate on life, where you've been, where you want to go, where you are, what you have, what you don't have, what you value, what you don't value, why you value things, why are you doing things, choices you've made, positions you're in, who you're indebted to. You get to ask yourself all these questions and really think and reflect and get wiser, get stronger, get more emotionally powerful. Unfinished symphony, and it was in reverse. Number 10. see another one on that. Okay. Yeah. New life. Spring. Yeah, okay. So I'm seeing how when we work through all of these unfinished debris, like there's a lot of debris that we have to work through within ourselves and around our energetic fields, our force field, our Taurus field, our aura, right? We're really working with things that are unseen at this time. And working through all of that, you see the egg, and then this girl right here, she's actually being birthed out of an egg. She's a fairy. So you see this Joker character, which is like a clown, and she reminds me of Harley Quinn. So this girl looks like Harley Quinn. She's over here in the chaos, dealing with her trauma and her emotions and all the chaos and everything, and unresolved issues. While once we get through that, this new life card comes in where we get to birth a new reality, a new experience, a new version of ourselves, a more clean, because you can even see she's more pure, more fresh, not a clown face, you know? It's more organic, more true, more honest, more pure. Less stuff as well. Like this girl's got a violin. She's got so much going on over there. There's just so much character. And in this card, it's just got me and my wings. And I'm just hatching out of this egg. It's cool. And if you see the process here also with the orphan, you see going from this sad orphan girl with this party hat and this, she's got like a party hat on or something. I think that's a party hat. I guess that could be a bird face. I'm not sure. But she's in a nest, and they're both on some sort of pillar, right? And you can see her sadness is left because she was able to change and to adapt to the time and to gestate in that egg and prepare, which is what we're doing. Any tea leaf? Yeah, let's get a couple tea leaves. Thank you so much. It's all gonna be okay. Yeah, clouds. Temporary problems, which is funny because literally as that happened, the clouds cover allowed the sun to come in there. So that was really cool. Because the sun card was that first card. And that's what's happening as we're illuminating reality. 5757. Broken ring, parting of the ways in either romance or business, leaving behind all of those contracts and partnerships, relationships, everything, work, everything that's not making sense anymore, leaving it behind and doing it swiftly, doing it, not overthinking, not over analyzing, not over needing to, you know what I'm saying? It's not a lot of logic. It's more heart. We need a firecracker. See, oof, see. We need more with that Fool card, especially being in position here. It's like we need to take a leap of faith. We need to jump ahead. We need to move forward. If we want to see life get better, if we want to be getting together with friends, loyal companions, community, pack, tribe. It's real life. It's where we are. A lot of dogs here. I think that's misunderstandings. Dogs and horses. Yeah, working through the misunderstandings because, just because you are on this side and they're on that side doesn't mean they're right and you're wrong and you're right and they're wrong, or none of that. Just means you got different opinions, and maybe together you can build something great. Working together. Inviting the teamwork makes the dream work into your consciousness. Triumph over troubles. Eagle. Triumph over troubles, obstacles. Star. guarantee success. So we have the star. We've been talking about the moon, and not the moon, but the sun, moon, and stars. Dog again, a distant friend is thinking of you. Exactly, like I said, community. There's something about coming together, dealing through relationships with a man, relationships coming back together, people coming back together, people finding more compromise with each other. Not being so, I know everything and you suck, and I reject everything and I'm the greatest, you know? It's like, let's get our standards in order and be a little bit more compassionate and considerate of people and the group rather than the self. So that's what I have. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it, and I'll see you next time. Bye.